Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Daniel Hood Roofing. Is it time for a new roof on your home? Well, a new roof increases curb appeal and home value. Can also help save you money on your energy bill. Plus, it's better to get a new roof and protect yourself from storms than to wait for a storm and hope your insurance company will cover the damage. Call Daniel Hood Roofing today. Visit danielhoodroofing.com. Daniel's going to be joining us here in just a second as we talk about quarterback pressure. All right, now yesterday, Tennessee with 4 sacks, 25 pressures. According to ABC ESPN stats, that's the most in 10 years for a Tennessee team. 25 pressures, 16 official quarterback hurries. 9 of those hurries came from the defensive line. 7 of those hurries came from the linebackers and defensive backs, showing you that early on in that game they were bringing pressure from all over. Then the defensive line started to take over a little bit. Now, over on the side set, you see all our guys. You get the backs of our center and guard, Bob Hodge and Sterling Hinton, and then you got our 2 defensive tackles. You got Will Overstreet and Daniel Hood. And Will saw something yesterday that he liked, and we'll go ahead and put the graphic up and show you. This is the formation he liked. This is the first half strip sack that wound up giving you the field goal that kept it into overtime and when at the end of the game and gave you a chance to win it. Will, take over.
Yeah, so from here we're looking at right now, before we get into this, what you're seeing is the set that they start getting with basically your speed guys, Roman Harrison and Byron Young on the outside, and then Tyler Barron, who's a little undersized as a defensive tackle in the run game, but inside has very good lateral speed, and Omari Thomas. This is where they were started getting pressure without having to blitz. But even when you do that, you do what's called games, so pass rushing games. And so for this sack, basically what we're seeing is how they got there. And so there's 2 things to this game. We're going to have Tyler over here on the center. He's on the other side. I'm on the guard over here. When you start this game, the most important thing is the first 2 steps by these guys. My job is to step and make this guy think I'm coming upfield. That moves him out of the way. When Daniel bends and comes down, he's now on this guy's hip so that when I come around, now this guy has a choice. Do I stay with him or do I take me? And he can't be right if this is run well. And that's where Barron comes in and gets the tackle because the center came out to me, strip sack, and that's how the game gets won right there.
So Daniel Hood is Tyler Barron. He came through, stripped it, and then Will, who was Omari Thomas in that play, is the guy that fell on the ball. All right, let me ask these guys a question now that they're all lined up. Very good, by the way. I can't believe we actually made that work. That was tremendous. You'd think we actually practiced that. But the question I've got for you is, I mentioned earlier, and I showed you those numbers, a lot of that pressure early came from blitzing, which, hey, that's great if you get there. There were a lot of times they didn't get there in time. And credit to Keaton Slovis. He stood in there and took a beating in that first half. But is it a concern at all? I mean, obviously you'd rather have pressure from the front 4 than from having to bring it all over. But were you concerned that you were having to dial it up so much? Or do you just like the fact that, hey, we're just going to be aggressive? Anybody?
I'm going to go with I like the fact that they're going to be aggressive. And I also like the fact that in the second half they went with a lot more getting the pressure before guys. So I kind of think it was a little bit of both. I like the aggression, and it seemed like, as Will pointed out, they figured something out.
Yeah. I was concerned in the first half because I thought you were still kind of in this position of we're not getting there with our front 4 and we're having to bring people every single time. And then I thought they changed more to this set. They got used to saying, hey, Pittsburgh's play action, yeah, but they're throwing it on obvious downs and they're not trying to trick us. So we're going to put the 4 best pass rushers on our team out there and say, you guys go get them. And that's what they did. And that's when they started seeing they were able to get there without always having to bring pressure. And pressure was the change-up and not the have to. So I thought that was the important thing.
I'll speak from a quarterback's perspective. Anytime you got 4 terrorizers up front, you got to be concerned about blocking. And then not sending anybody extra to come put pressure on me. That confuses an offense. Candidly confuses the offense. Now if they play in zone, they got more people in the zone. If they're playing man in zone, they got more help inside the man. So when you got less people coming toward the quarterback and putting pressure on the quarterback, it definitely slows an offense up. I don't care how they do it.
Daniel, you heard Will's a big fan of Tyler Barron moving to the inside there. What are your thoughts on how they use Tyler Barron, moving him around?
I thought that was a smart move to go ahead and move him to the inside for those pass situations. I'm very hesitant about them showing these type of games this early in the season because you still got your full gauntlet of the SEC. And you want to have something to build off of. Once you get to these nose tackle games, you've only got one progression off of it, which is your chaos game where you'll bring the defensive ends inside off of it. I would have liked to have seen more one-on-one pass rush abilities, seeing him against the center, more one-on-one against the guard to see what skills he needs to work on for the rest of the season instead of relying on games this early.
But you had to win.
We did have to win.
So
you got to win.
you do what you got to do
And
to
you
win.
also give other teams more to think about coming into your game. And I can tell you right now, you know how you guys put pressure on the quarterback.
Yep.
Those when the bullets are flying, there's more you got to think about. What if they come with a game? What if they do when they playing base? What if they shoot a nickel storm? You got more to think about back there as a quarterback. It slows up an offense.
All right. Very good, guys. I appreciate that. Was excellent. Even that, the whole thing was done like clockwork. It was tremendous. Will, Sterling, Daniel, Bob, good job. When we come back, what are we doing? Oh, yeah. We're going to look around the SEC. We're going to tell you where Tennessee ranks inside the SEC. Not a great day for the conference. Is Tennessee good enough to take advantage of maybe a down SEC? We'll discuss that. Plus, we'll have the VFLs answer some questions about the Akron game as we play Will They or Won't They? We still got the Cavaliers line to come, too. Come on back on the Sports Source.